We are the 10. And this right here is 10 o'clock talks. Welcome, welcome. Pittsburgh. What's going on, everybody? How was your day? How was your day? Yeah, this is 10 o'clock talks. Thank you for joining us, and I applaud you for joining again, watching, supporting. I really mean that. It's Friday, March 12th, 2021. I want to just say this. Support someone's dreams near you. Small businesses need it. I have three to mention. I might not have all the addresses and stuff here. I thought of it late, but I want to shout them out. Luke and Mike's Patio. And they're in Pittsburgh. Look them up on Google. Angela's Pizzeria. I know they're in Bloomfield, home of the Codfather. And the Blaze Grill. Oh, the garlic, the smell, the fish, everything's fresh. Go visit my friends, please, in Pittsburgh. Fish Fry Friday. Also want to give special thanks to groups that support me and invite me in. All the groups are about support, look for nothing, just try to help those that need help and provide information. And we have a special friend out there from Patriots at Large, Terry Anderson. He's doing this on his own footwork. Good man. And he's out and about down in Texas. And he's checking out the whole border situation. So he can provide really good information. And tomorrow he has big plans. So here's a man that is so into his America and your freedoms and everything that's going on. And he's there because of good purpose and reason as a human being for other human beings. But he's going to bring special information. I'll give you any kind of information on that. If you're not one of the Patriots at Large, you may want to be one. So thank you, Terry. You rock, brother. He's down there for you. He's going to get us information. He's via live, he's sending messages back. Also want to thank the Patriots, the 47%. Trump's Patriots, Uncensored, Save America, Stand Up, the Great American National Group, Trump's 2020 Fans, Hardcore Conservatives, and America for Freedom. And of course, Patriots at Large. Again, thank you, Terry. So, with that said, getting off the first page, I hope everybody's well, feeling good. I know last night was a real blur from what I heard with, Biden. And who didn't expect, I guess, I didn't watch it. It didn't take a psychic to figure out it was going to be negative towards Trump. I heard something about, how he's the man, he come into a sham of a program. Come on, really? We know how much that's a lie. Warp speed was put in place. We know that. I'm only responding back by what I heard. I really did not see it. I did view a little bit of an article, and I was just like, this is, you know what it is. You know what it was. Just not good. But anyway, I guess he needed the vent. And the only thing he can remember at this point is maybe being negative, how to be negative. So, yeah, that said, I got some things coming up. But right now, I'm going to take this to a totally different focus. It's going to be different. And I'm not against anybody. I'm not against the left or the right, because the left now are becoming our new voters. I'm going to support this party who's waking up. This is the purpose of what I'm about to share with you. And it's kind of deep, but it's nice to see where and who is awakening, as well as the Republicans, really some trying to start to fight back, because we got trampled on back in the election, and further, and stimulus, and the ands don't end. So I want you guys to watch something. Please bear with me. Could you load that there? All right, they're going to put this up. The camera's going to be off me. I didn't have time to do what I wanted to do, so we're going to do this a little funkified. Stay with me here, and we're going to get this hooked up. Just give us a minute to do this real quick. This is put up and posted by a very special friend who, I follow, and we all support each other.
Gender silliness. How in the world did that happen? A Catholic. I'll tell you, if he wasn't Catholic, I probably wouldn't be so upset. He's a member of my family. He's the most powerful man in the world. And he is absolutely opposed to the basic understandings that God is the author of life. How in the world did this happen? You want an answer? I'll tell you the answer. Because our bishops have been silent for 60 years through bad catechesis and cowardice. They have barely said a thing. A few papers here and there. They speak of, there's things they could do. You say, well, why don't you do something? I'm just a little diocesan priest. I'm a grunt. They're the apostles. They have the voice. I just work for them at their privilege. They can get rid of me tomorrow. How have they allowed this to happen? What is it that they really believe? How poorly have they educated you? Good Lord. Can you imagine if in 2012, Mitt Romney, who was running for president, Mitt Romney, who is a Mormon, a member of the LDS Church, when he was running against President Barack Obama, if he were a cigar-smoking, whiskey-drinking, coffee-drinking Mormon, can you imagine if he had won the presidency? The Mormon Church would have gone apoplectic. This is not a representation of us. They just would have said, oh, no, don't look at him. He does not represent what we believe. Probably would have excommunicated him. But what do our bishops do? They just let it snow. I apologize if it sounds like I'm yelling at you. I am angry. It's a righteous anger, the same righteous anger that Jesus had when he drove the money changers out of the temple. He didn't hate those people, but he was outraged with a sense of righteous anger. Righteous anger means I'm incensed at what you are doing to someone else, and I am called to protect. Woe to me if I don't preach the gospel. I have to stand up for this. Jesus had to stand up for his Father's dignity, so he wanted a clean house. And I have this righteous anger. I'm just tired of this. Angry to the point where I am tempted to say this. If you are pro-abortion, I am tempted to ask you to leave St. Henry Parish. Leave this parish. Tempted to say that. Because then I think, where would you go? This is not just this parish that teaches this. This is the Catholic Church, the Holy Catholic Church of God that teaches this. What parish would accept your views? Sadly, you would find one. And that is an indictment against the bishops. But God help that parish that would let your ideas foster in their parish. And so instead, I will not ask you to leave. Why? Because this may be your only chance to repent, to change your mind, and to come to know the truth and finally embrace it. So I won't ask you to leave. This is your chance for salvation. You are welcome here. Even if you're pro-abortion, but your ideas are not welcome here, and they will be given no quarter. Same with Joe Biden. He's a Catholic. He's a member of the family. If for some reason he would be in Buckeye on a Sunday, Joe Biden is welcome to come to Mass here. His ideas are not welcome here. And if you ask me a follow-up question, would you give him communion? No. Over my dead body. Not until he repents. He's a public figure. He needs to publicly repent. And we need to pray for his conversion. He is a member of the family. I will ask you this, though, if you're pro-abortion and you choose to stay, don't give us any money. Keep your money. Why? Because I'm an honest priest. And I want you to have some smidgen of integrity. Why in the world would you give money to an organization whose ideas are contrary to what you believe? Don't give money to this parish. Don't give money to any Catholic charity, any Catholic organization. Why would you do such a thing? I hate Planned Parenthood and what they do. I hate the fact that the government funds this private organization to continue evil at my expense as a taxpayer. Oh, I do pay taxes. Can you imagine if I gave money to Planned Parenthood? Why in the world would I do such a thing? So if you're pro-abortion, keep your money. We are within target of perhaps in 5 years completing our parish campus. You see all what it's exploding around us. This is all good for us. We're moving on building a church. And if I'm going to build the church, I'm going to build the greatest Catholic church in the Diocese of Phoenix. I'm not going to just build some place where we can hang out. We have a hall right now. We just hang out here, okay? But what I'm going to build is going to cost $10 million. I'm not kidding you, 10, maybe 12. And it's going to be great. Otherwise, I'm not putting my name on it. You can get any priest to build a box for you. But I'm not going to build it with the money from pro-aborts. I'm going to build it from the money from people of faith who believe in what this church teaches about the most basic principle. Students in Christ, I feel like a university professor of literature who wants to teach you about Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace or Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment or any other great literature. But about half the class doesn't even know how to read or write. How in the world can I teach you about the beauty and the truths that lay hidden within Shakespeare when you can't even read it? I got to go back to kindergarten and first grade to start all over. And it's the same thing with this issue on life. We got to get over this hump, brothers and sisters. Can we please just get this down and just say God's the author of life? We have no right to mess with that life, to play with it, let alone end it, because of some reason under the sun that it just doesn't fit us. Please. We say, I believe in one God, Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, of all that is seen and unseen. That the Virgin Mary conceived by the power of the Holy Spirit. I don't care if you believe that. I don't care if you believe in the Trinity. I don't care if you believe in the resurrection of Christ. If you can't get the basics down, I don't care that you believe in life everlasting.
Well. I know I cheated to do that tonight, but I really wanted to get that out there. And I have good reason for wanting to do that. Alright, let me rearrange myself here, people, and set back up for you. You know, I did the short version. And I don't know what you got out of that, really, but I'm going to hope it comes through really strong for you, truthfully. That means a lot to me that I can come across well. I'm going to do a little breathing here after we set this mic in the right position. There I go. Anyway, So I normally wouldn't do something like that, but I felt it to be really important, and there's a big message here. So I woke up this morning, and some things could put a smile on your face, truly. And even when times are so negative and dark, and I don't agree with much, I see things or I have seen things come up to surface, so to speak, by far in the Catholic Church. And we know that there's a lot of issues that fall under the Catholic Church and problems. We have seen things. We can agree on that part, I would guess, at this point. But here you have a man in the Catholic Church, puts himself out there. He may not be there tomorrow, but he spoke his mind on his beliefs. And that gives me a narrative of positivity and truth. And we know, and I think we can agree on this, truth of history, of violence, power, death, to judge people and control people. These are things that have come up over the years and through history about the Catholic Church. I wasn't here. I didn't live in that time. I live now. I live with you. But, you know, there were control measures in ways, and religion held the power over the people, riches over concerns. They could put fear in the right places if necessary. They had their own armies and so forth, and military. And they went about their way with things like that. But here you have a fella who stood up and said, you know, what has the church done in 60 years? They slept. They fell asleep. And maybe this will wake some of them up. Because we know the acts in the church have been nothing less than disappointing in many ways. Money, money, money has always been on part of the plan on the table, as they may not admit this as one of the wealthiest organizations in the world. Riches and treasures and artifacts and tablets. An archaeologist's dream if he tripped over it. And I had to take my hat off to this guy and say, hey, he had a voice for us. And he brought it to his church, and he told you right out, and he told you, Joe. You know? But I felt the need to get it out to you and just say to you, look, we do have some structure somewhere coming about. I know I talk about left coming to the right, and they are. And I don't know where this priest per se is, in the middle, to the left, to the right. I don't know who he voted for. But he spoke about his beliefs, his ideologies of what these people are doing. And it's shameful. Everything we're going through right now, this transformation of the whole entire globe. And if you look under my share story, you'll see some things that reflect the Obama, Hillary Clinton, Biden administration into where we are now and how people are reacting back. They're not reacting back in these ways against their governments due to the fact they're stupid or there's no reason for it. It's because they're going through what you and I are going through right now in this moment of this day. I guess in ways there could be a bigger picture to all of it. We're never going to understand the total outcome of what that picture is. But we know it sucks. I mean, we can admit that. And like I said, I don't talk religion on this, but I will bring it into a structure of commentary, trying to help us all find ourselves. I wish I could tell you it was something better of a topic than right now, but he's supporting every one of us out here. He's supporting he speaks. You don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to believe in religion. You know, take that off the plate. He spoke to you in truth. And to me, that's validation. And I strongly believe he had good morals, good intentions, and put himself in the spot by doing it. And now it's posted. It's going to go worldwide. And I thought it was a great share because there is something missing, and probably something missing in all of us. So, not to take you down on a drag here. This is a positive outlook to things that are going on. It really, really is. It's positive. And we are America. And that's what we stand for in America: strength, logic, fairness, the Constitution, and where we can go forth from all this. And I don't like to trip back over old topics, but I have spoke on that. I think I was very just in how I said it and how we could take these bricks and mortar off the bottom and get Washington to collapse. But it's going to take a lot of effort in these blue states. Get the right people in offices, even if they're not the right people. If they're a candidate for us and our beliefs, they'll get in there, they'll learn, they'll understand. Their communities will come to them. They'll listen to them. We can make a change in the lower levels that will collapse the top. We have a numerous amount of Republican states and more states starting to join in, fighting back. That was what the purpose of this whole share, really, in ways. Because now maybe even the church will flip the narrative to the Pope and get his brain out of the negativity of where it goes with this stuff. But when you drink from a $3,000 chalice all the time, I don't know what to expect there. So I hope you understand where I was at with that. I thought it was important. I thought it was inspirational for us, maybe not on his field and where he is inside the Catholic Church, but maybe with just enough words said, it makes a difference to you on where we could possibly be heading, because none of us are accepting this, and we will not accept it. I'm sorry, I'm speaking for your tongue right there, but I don't think anybody who does follow this page would disagree. I'm going to move on, and thank you for letting me do that. I needed to. I just needed to. Como again. Yeah, let's get to that. Como, let me get you on an up pump. Let me pump you up. All I can say is keep exposing. If anybody out there knows anything and you can put it up, put it out, because now the big hands in Washington are really worried about him and where he sits, what he controls, what he did, and they are going to expose a narrative with this. A pre-planned blue state plan, for the most part, of all their idiotic mistakes or pre-knowledge of how to handle this, which would then implicate more people, such as Fauci and so forth. And that would be, gravy all over those mashed potatoes, man, wouldn't it? And I think he'll squeal like a pig under enough pressure. And if he doesn't do it in some courtroom, he'll let it out somewhere. That's his mouth. He can't keep it shut. He can't. So we need to impeach his butt, as well as all these other governors. And if we take these lower levels, cities, structures, across the Pennsylvania state for me and others for you and your blues, Washington ain't going to have a leg to stand on, because no one's going to listen to them. And we'll have actions and how to residuate if we have to do it with 49 states. I'll leave it at that. But believe me, I wish I could get on the phone with somebody that mattered in this world and give them my ideas and share their thoughts. Because right now, all I see is 2024. But I also know we were told grassroots. Grassroots are what I have described to you. Take them down on the bottom, it'll fall. It has no choice. The structure's lost, it goes down. And that may be all we have left. Don't count that part of it out. So Pennsylvania, in my mind, must be next. We need, in our state here, Pittsburgh, listen, if you're hearing this, my friends here, I know I don't have a lot, but what I have is enough to say something to somebody that may say something to somebody else and to somebody else and let it go on. If we take care of our structure in these smaller areas and fight this next election in November, we can exterminate Wolf, Fetterman, and an impeachment. And if they want to know why and what it's for, wrongful deaths, crimes on humanity, and I can think of a couple other ones. And I would say, if anything good could happen from that, call Rachel Levine back in. Guilty as the rest of them, by far. Now sitting up in Washington there, this person, we got to take these states like this. You know, and Joe, he continues to ride on. This is going to reflect a little bit of last night, I think, on what I got here. You know, Joe continues to ride on President Trump's coattails. He does. We know how diligent Trump was, and he explained everything. Of course, the media, you know, would try to discombobulate everything, of course, you know. I mean, his argument, the only argument he ever had in the office, really, that I'm aware of, and he might have had a couple with, you know, his surrounding employees, we don't know what he dealt with totally, was the media. And they're never going to be on his side. And if his face comes back in, they're going to come back out probably barking. Although I have seen some narrative changes, and I don't know where that ideology is coming from after what they all have done, including our own local news here, 2, 4, and 11, and Fox 53. They've done it as well. They've done it as well. And I don't watch them for that. You know, I might breeze through it, but I don't make it part of my day. I just don't. Make me part of your day. You might get more out of it, you know, because at least I'll be honest. I'll give you every true fact I can find that all the good Americans are posting throughout the social medias that aren't being taken down, suppressed, and voice lost. Mine's still here, thank God, you know. I have to thank somebody because it's letting me do this. But when you talk about warp speed and taking credit for certain things, I mean, that's, you know, everything and the way wrong with this man. But we know he's sick, too. He's sick. And we're going to have to hit hard and hit fast soon because he's not going to be around much longer at all. He's just not. So I know you were probably angry. You're appalled at what you heard. And I bet your hands were ready to reach through the damn TV. I'll bet they were. I heard it coming out last night in big ways of the lies. And as he continues to be a disappointment to America, to all. So, yeah, that would be Joe and what he represents. It's all about Joe or it ain't good. Same with Harris. And we know her history. We know her involvements to China and different places and with her husband. She's as guilty as Joe in a lot of ways. Organizational things and so forth. I'll be posting some of that for you to have a look at. When you see it posted, expect I'll be talking about it. I have some things put aside. Very interesting things. Call that attack back? I don't know, not really, but expose is what's going to make them weaker. And I expect them to fight back. Sure, they will. And what's to come? I don't know that either. But if we start our fight the way I described it, it's the safest bet. Safest bet. I'm not Rush. I'm not any of these big talk people. But I have a brain. I have a mind. I have a voice. I have thought. And this is the way I see it. I'm saying it no different if they were here doing it sitting in the seat. Our government are sellouts. Every damn one of them up there. And a lot of the Republican Party. They're sellouts. They sold you out, America. They sold you out. They sold me out. They sold the future of the children out. They're an embarrassment. They're an embarrassment to take breath from this earth. And one day, someone will write, may not be now or in the very near future, and history will expose these people as the criminals that they are in the lineup of the history prior of names that already exist. But this global effort, and it is global, open all borders, one nation under the 13, the CEOs of the round table with Gates and Fauci and Wu and all these magnificent failures to us. Let me say this. They wanted us to live in fear, and a lot of people accepted that. And I understand the controversy as to how it happened, what happened. But once we got a grip on what happened, we figured them out. We figured them out well. And they knew it, and that's why these narratives keep getting thrown in our face. But these narratives aren't put there for any particular reason. This is a change that they want. They believe in everything they're throwing at you. Everything, including the children. And all the misguidance to this sexual approval, politically correct things. And why you women can't dress the way you want to dress, and why they're putting men in transgender or something like to kill the manhood of a man or something. What is that about? To take the next generation into being nothing but a bisexual race of human being males? I don't know. But we got to make it stop somewhere. We do. We have to make it stop. And I think America's ready to kick some ass, and kick some ass with me. And we're going to have to do that and fight hard. I have good groups that allow me in, support me, send me notes. And that keeps me here for a little bit longer, as long as they don't take me down. So we got to get a hold of these blue states. Remember what we need to do. And if you have a better, something, I'm not no war expert, this, that, military, but that's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. We need to grasp this and move forward somehow really, really fast. They can eliminate Joe in a heartbeat, and we're going to have issues. We need to work on impeachments up there. Harris, Pelosi, Schumer, Schiff, to name some. We need to fight back, tie them up in courts, tie these executive orders up in courts. I don't care that they're executive orders. Question them. We need our legal side and our justice teams to get together and read through this, as well as our military, who has a lot of authority in America as well. Your eyes are open. You people aren't blind. You see it. We all see it. Yeah. This is what makes fun about, huh? Well, welcome to my world of entertainment. And yours. This is your everyday new plan, right? I mean, this is what we do every day. We wake up for the next big story. And who's going to have the next big post up? And I don't care if I have that or not. I'm going to post what I feel from the heart is good and sheds light to something somewhere, somehow. I'm going to shed some light elsewhere, too. I want to send special thanks to Merle up at his hunting camp down in Texas, Pittsburgh, Texas. I told everybody, you get this stimulus, run out and buy guns. And I know now there's some law changes and all this thing happening. I don't know what the availabilities of the thing will be. They might make you wait a year or 2 years to get a gun. And you'll have to pay this, that, and the other, and so forth. Hey, there's always archery. There are other weaponries, correct? And there's a lot of ways to make homemade things, correct? Guns have never been sold hand to hand in the neighborhood with nothing more than a piece of paper, if that. It was here's your cash, I'll take the gun, it's what I'm interested in, it's what I always wanted. They're not going to stop the American dream. We will still have each other. They're calling it illegal, but are they going to follow us that close? Nah, I think not. They can't even follow the border. That's why we have people from the patriots down there now trying to really get the truth of what's going on. And the truth of what's going on, I'll even put this up for question. It's been on my mind. It was something mentioned to me, Beth, today, actually. And Biden, the shirt, was it Take Us In? Was this a setup? Was it staged? Oh, you bet it was staged. They went over, picked those people up, had them put on T-shirts. Somewhere along the line, the clip, they don't show everything. And then they come out of a boat, and they have Biden T-shirts on. Are you serious? Come on, we don't believe that for a heartbeat of a minute. And they were fresh white. You think about this. They just came 1,000 miles. Not even carrying bags. Some of the girls had purses. Children didn't seem to have much of anything either. They have on what looks to be a brand new white T-shirt. It's white. Come on. That's a lie. That's a lie. They didn't come in their own shirts, pre-made. Welcome us, Biden, Joe. We're here for all your freebies. And America's going to work to pay for us to be here. Isn't it wonderful, Joe? Yeah, that's what that is. That's a slap on our face. It was planned. It was set up. I won't go no other way but to say that. No other way. I also want to bring up another thing while I'm into the guns. What not did they teach us as children? What was the old movies about? Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, the greats. The Christmas movie, Wonderful Christmas or Wonderful Lives, or what was it? Anyway, you guys get my drift here. Soldiers singing and the efforts of war, support by this kind of thing. Invest here to help the war. And people did it and stood up. They did it. And then we were introduced to G.I. Joes, little plastic men and Indians. So the soldiers would fight the Indians, wipe them out, and take the Indians' land from them, as pretty much had occurred, without right to do so. But we are where we are, and we had nothing to do with that, not in our lives. It's a shame it happened. But think about it, all these plastic tanks and all. We were taught this. It's in our blood. It was. Come on, if you were a little boy, and even some of the tomboy girls, you know what I'm saying. This stuff was there. They planted war into our minds because war made the rich richer. And now they say we can no longer have guns, and they go and fire rockets. Come on, are you serious? And then you attack on us, and you say, well, if we ban everything from you, you won't harm us. Yeah, you'll cage yourself in for 60 more days, but you won't cage the border. The states are taking care of it with their own National Guards, their own state police, volunteers, etc. To try to take care of a wrong that you have created, Joe. And Miss Harris, who I really believe had the knife into his back to push as much as he could on these efforts, coming from somewhere else. I'm sure, much higher. How to destroy America. Well thought out, well planned, orchestrated. It's even pre-written. It's out there. I promise you it's out there. I've read it. Many others have. But I want to get that out there. The narrative of what they put in our heads as children. And, people went and died for people. These people don't care that anybody died for anybody. They don't care. Not truly. They've been a fine example for the last 16 to 20 years to show that. And when you have Papa Bush, his own father, supported the Germans in the wars, are you serious? Check those out. Check them stories out. He lost his ass over it. But Papa Bush Jr. to Junior, they all jumped in it together. They figured out how to make money. They follow the money trail in politics. So that's our life. We get fed these examples, and all you ever wanted was your AK or a 12-gauge shotgun or 38 357 or 22 over and under shotgun, And you can't have it. We want to know where it is. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. So anyway, let me move on a little further here and breeze through this try to get you guys back to your lives real quick. Uh, I'm seeing in some reports come to surface on these, and it's a red flag on the vaccine, the death sides effect. We're seeing death occur now. They're not widely reported, remember the media, but we're starting to get fed this information. Also, some of the things we may have seen where there was people in seizures and so forth. I didn't even know myself if it was like, could this be real? You know, we question things, we see it, and of course we can panic over it, but there are things like that happening. It's coming to light in different ways. There are people leaking out some information and getting it to us, and we're getting real video clips and so forth like that. Be glad to share with you, but I'm going to have to take my time and look for a day where I can really upload to how I can feature it into this in a better way. Yeah. Great in America today, huh? I really want you to be positive, though. As positive as you can be. At least we don't have anybody knocking down, trying to break through our doors, you know, and hope for that never to occur. So again, I got to ask you, guard at the Capitol or at the border? And you know where Joe is on that. They're trying to keep America in an intolerable process of problems. Close the border. Nah. What we need to do is we really need to get a strategy on how we can sue our governors and states and do the elections. And I'm going to say this to all the left. If there's any out there who are starting to follow or starting to wake up, you can come to our side, join in, and do the smart thing. It would be the best thing for the country and your children. Put the children first, and maybe you'll agree with me. Except for the ones with this new ideology out of Hollywood and all this very bad scenario of what the new norm is for children. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. You can say anything you want about me, call me names, turn me in. I don't care. You're worthless to me. And your children don't deserve you. They deserve better. That said, don't be mad at us, world. You know, the ones on the other side. Mega did nothing wrong. And it's time for us and Mega to now become Save America and become stronger. To the others with the right. And we do welcome the left to come over, you know. Just don't bring your new norm. And that's the same reason why the priests that I brought up, yeah, we'll welcome you in. Just don't bring your bullshit with you. Make sure you have the power to vote. That's all we want. And everybody can get back to their lives when we get this fixed and checked and changed. But to listen to me any longer, vent on this, is not going to make any of this any better tonight. So the choice is what it is, and how you make it. You'll make it what works for you. And I'll respect that. One more thing on the guns. It seems that only 3 people now are going to be owning ammo manufacturing plants. I looked into this a little bit when somebody gave me some information. And there's some truth to this, that a state senator, and I'm looking harder to find out, bought up more than a bunch of ammo companies. And I guess it's either because he wants to get rich on it all by himself at high prices, or he has a different narrative and it's part of a control mechanism that the government's going to finance him to do it. But then I hear the military has some hands in it as well. And you have Northrop Grumman Corporation. And these people are the 3 top leaders of what's going on the ammo shutdown, so to speak. So keep your ears open, stay diligent to all the informations. If you get anything that I can use, please throw it over to my side, because I need something more to talk about except for how we fix this, because I could truly be wrong. I just think it's fact and it could work. But again, if you really want to spend some of this stimulus and continue to collect into your arsenal of your privacy of weapons, you may have to look into, archery things and, or you're going to have to just, make your own things. And people can do that. A lot of machine shops out there, they know how to do it, but you're going to have to do that in, in the shadow of the light, so to speak. Let me see where we're at here. We're just about done, actually, I think. Got a little bit more. I'm not going to keep you long. But I am going to push this impeachment. I'm sorry. We got to get these people. I'm hoping everybody sees the big picture here. Truly. Does anybody see, speaking of pictures, did anybody see the picture of Schumer and his thing? I guess it's his wife. There's some questionable stuff there. There's a possibility that she's not female. I don't know. You can check it out for yourself. Some pictures are coming to light, comparisons to people and so forth. I could be wrong. She could just be a terrible looking woman, But, hey, there might be a valid point here. And they threw enough in our face, they can take a little. One other thing. I don't agree with, but I don't want to put this out there real hard right now. But it gets better. This illness that came amongst us from China came as the corona and turned into the COVID and then into the super COVID and then into the spreader. What does it mean? Why does it keep changing names? What is the narrative to that? I truly don't get that. Is it all been the same? Is it all the same as one? We all started out with this Corona Bear thing, but you get where I'm at with this, and we're going to flatten the curve. Yeah, we are flattening the curve. Our numbers are no different than the flu. So what are all these things in super spreaders? And remember, you're going to have to behave, and then maybe by the 4th of July, I caught that part of it, you will be able to possibly hang out and have fun with your family. Yeah, I don't know. I don't play into the game and into the narrative. I really think we've been hoaxed the whole way through and controlled. It saddens me to know we live in a country like that, and we're up against such a wall with it. But the American Rescue Plan and stimulus did nothing for us, really. The benefit was, we know, to the right. It was a bad trail of money, who I say these dirtbags need to pay it back. They do, not us. It shouldn't fall on us in taxes and into our children's lives taxes, and change the whole structure of the economy to the gain of the government. And they'll just do it to you again. The minute they get $1 trillion back, something else is going to happen. The deficit of $30 trillion that we're closer to really having, it's never going to get changed. It's too huge. It's too huge. But how do we make them pay it back? What do we have to do? How do we get them to do it? I guess we would work it off gladly if we could lock their asses all up in jail. I'll say it that way. And I'll say this. Hopefully somebody out there really does snoop at what we do. And if you think we're blind, it's because you're corrupt. And we are not. You may be able to buy off some, but not the majority and not by our votes. Their objective is to keep us shut down, silent, and to kill this country. But the USA is not yours. It is the people's America. Part of the new benefit also, this is very important, and it's a slap in the American people's face, but they're choosing narratives just like our mayor did here in Pittsburgh by only funding for 2 years $500 a month to only black working women, when we have equal parties of women going through the same exact equal strains in life, and disappointments in life, and low income, low job rate pays. Why don't they put their minds down for a minute if you're going to do anything and try to make something fair or subsidized with all this money you just took, and you're going to have leftover. For 2 years, you'll have a leftover pocket, a jacket with money in it. You pay the indifference of the $15 an hour. Bring the equal wage up for the women that's 21% lower, equal to the man's same job, because it's necessary and it should be done now. That I'll never question and never argue with you with, but you won't come up with that part of it. But their thing is to kill this country. And it's yours. It's the people's. It's ours. But they slap us in the face again with this. If you're 50 and under, for the year, fiscal year 2021, you can be eligible for monthly checks if you have no disabilities. Really? So as the structure in America and the prices start to rise and surge, and the people on fixed incomes can't afford it, and a 3% raise a year doesn't even cover it. The projection on gas will reach $5 a gallon by the end of the year. The people that are on SSDI and SSI, fixed incomes, are going to see the lowest poverty levels in their life they've ever seen before. But yet, to keep the narrative where they want it, you not working, you'll be entitled to unemployment, really, plus this new program. 50 and under, if you can't work, you ain't got a job, you're on unemployment, they're going to subsidize even another check. It's unreal. Look for those facts. They're out there. I promise you. Again, I've been it a lot tonight. I apologize with love. I do. It's just where we're at. I enjoyed everybody's post today, your rants, the funny things. It made for a better day for me. And I could find 1,000 things that I could cover for you. I could say this for a minute, and this for a minute, and this for a minute, and that for a minute, and it's just so large. I'm trying to stay a little bit more focused in a different manner because I think we need to get together, all of us. I mean, I wish we could all just go meet at the bar, talk this out, and really go and spread some kind of vibe to people and talk to some good people who are politically smart and give us some really great guidance on how to hit this lower structure and start disassembling it. And I think it's pretty much simple, though, the way I've described to you, if we could do that. But we need a lot of people in these blue states. I don't know if I'm reaching them. Maybe you can. Maybe you can get something out there or post in that direction. The world's relying upon us in America to set an example. And I don't know if we, the people, are able to do that. But we can't challenge the true picture of the strength of the government. We cannot. Too many families that need moms and dads, and that would be a suicide mission. We have to do it smart, and this is our best avenue. So I hope you're in this with me for that. I hope you watch. I hope you share when you can. I appreciate the thumbs up. Always accepting the friends. Yeah. And to all the patriots out there doing all the footwork, trying to provide the public. If you're not involved on these pages, you should be. You really should be. Private groups are not quite, in my mind, censored as much, but they are. They still are. Don't get me wrong. I see it. But you may want to join in, and that would be another way of showing large support to the groups out there who are just trying to be a step ahead of the things that will help change the America. So stand tall, America. It's Friday, 2021, the 12th day. And I'm going to sign off with a good night to you guys. Good health. Stay strong. And I always leave you on this note with respect. Please don't judge me. I will never judge you. Enjoy your evening. Have a great night. See you soon.